Hey guys, how you going? It's HW. I'm back in the city. I'm back from the little skirt up in the Blue Mountains last week. Back down at sea level again. And have a look at the cap that I'm wearing. I've worn it many times before. But I got the Superman cap on, the Man of Steel. And it just so happens that I'm sitting on these little round bollards here in front of the Lloyd Rees fountain in Martin Place. And I always walk past this and give a nod to Keanu Reeves and Neo from The Matrix and the rest of the cast. But it just so happens this fountain's famous for another movie that was filmed in Sydney, which was Superman Returns. And I'll quickly whack in a photo of then and now in front of the fountain here now. Better get a bit closer, I suppose. I'll quickly whack back into Martin Place again. I don't want to get too close to the fountain and it's too noisy. But yeah, Superman Returns in 2006. I wasn't a real fan of the show. I only ever watched parts of it, didn't watch all of it the whole way through. I was always more a fan of the original Superman for me, which was the one starring Christopher Reeves. And Gene Hackman as Lex Luthor and Marlon Brando as Superman's father. Now the one filmed in Sydney, Superman Returns, I think it was around 2006, something like that. It had Brendan Ruth as Superman, Kate Boswell, I think her name was. I can't remember what part she played. And there's heaps of locations around Sydney where it's filmed, but it's not a big film for me, so I'm not going to go around and show you all the sites. I'll just show you that one, because the fountain's really more important to me for The Matrix rather than Superman Returns. But while we stare up at the sky, it's a bit grey over there to the east. The wind's coming from that direction at the moment. Temperature in Sydney today is going to be 27 degrees Celsius. And the wind's in the low digits, so it's in like 3 kilometres an hour, 4 kilometres an hour coming from the east. So when the sun comes out and I can see it reflecting off that window up there, it'll probably get quite humid again. And today, apart from just having that quick nod to Superman, I wanted to get around and see what's happening in the big smoke. Check out a few places and as normal we'll check out what the punters are doing, and we'll just have a good old mosey around old Sydney town. So brew your coffee, extract your coffee, pull your coffee, do whatever you want to do to your coffee, whether you take it black or whether you take it with milk. Fashion it now, sit down and whack the vid up on the big screen, up on your big screen TV, and let's enjoy old Sydney town together. We'll have a bit of a skirt down George Street first. Seen quite a number of tourists already coming out of Martin Place and looking both directions on George Street. So they must agree with me that autumn, fall is the best time to come to Oz. Probably should mention while I think of it, my footy team had a win last night. We beat the reigning premiers, the Penrith Panthers, and we did it with a injury-affected team. As were they as well. They had a couple of their big stars out, but I would say overall we had more out. And we had a really good first half. And it was enough to get the job done. So let's go Rabbitohs. Let's go Rabbitohs. Thursday night footy. It's a good start to the coming weekend. Next time I do a vid, I'll have to wear my San Francisco Giants cap because the baseball season's underway. And as I always do, supporting the Bay teams in America, I'll have to start paying a bit more attention to the baseball. I don't catch many of the games, if at all. So I've got to make a point of watching a few Giants matches this year. I was going to try to get a view up King Street, and I went too far. A few people in the Apple store. Remember in the old days when you had a problem with your iPhone, you used to have to book in a visit to the Genius Bar in Apple to get it fixed. These days, most people just go to a mobile phone repair joint to get it fixed. I may be imagining it, I don't know whether you can see up there, but the Strand logo looks a lot golder than I remember. Maybe they've redone the gold on it recently. And on a couple of the other ornament parts of the building as well. It's a real strand to Strand. I went to the little Strand arcade in Lura when I was up there last week, and now I'm back in front of my favourite Strand arcade in the city. Oh, look at all the punters lined up in front of Edition Roasters over there, just at the start of the mid-city centre. That's another good little chain, Edition Roasters, when you come to Sydney. If you need to pick up a nectar, pick up a coffee on the run, as those punters are doing. So remember that one. I've been there a few times before. Oh, there goes that alarm again. Why do I always walk past here? I don't know why they find it necessary to have that alarm. Especially these days where there's not much traffic coming down George Street other than the light rail. It's not like it's a raceway or a rocket launch pad. You know that vehicles are going to come out of the car park and they're not speeding. So I just don't get why they have that bloody noisy alarm. Here's a very polite Jenny. Apologise for standing in my frame. But I didn't worry. That's what we want to see. We want to see the punters walking around. Just walking past the Swiss Hotel here. I wonder what it's like staying in there. It's in the right spot for me. You know, that honey spot that I've spoken of before. It's like the center of the city, and it's really quite flat, so it's good for walking. So before I've mentioned it, I reckon the best places to stay if you're going to have a couple of nights in Sydney is to stay in the blocks between Goldman Street and Circular Quay. And that's the south to the north. And then from the east to the west, east, I'd say College Street, and then west would be Kent Street. So if you stay in that square, I reckon you can't go wrong. You're close to all the shops and tourist attractions, and an easy walk as well. What's happening in the Pitt Street Mall? So a few people waiting for this young fella to kick his guitar up. We're not going to wait around for that. Let's get up Pitt Street here, and then we'll swing through the foyer of the ANZ Bank, and we'll check out to see if a few of the coffee shops around there are open. I'm just swinging back to this building site just here on Pitt Street. Going to see if I can get a little flick on my mobile phone of this building material getting hoisted up by the crane. If you're into watching building material getting hoisted around, if you've got a bit of a fetish for that, you'll be able to see that vid either on HW Tours Instagram account, which is just HW Tours, or Sydney Ground Up, which is my other channel on YouTube, just for little shorts. We might be out of luck. The footings of the ANZ Tower, the shops around there might be still getting redeveloped as part of the metro. Have I ever bothered to stand in front of this old Bank of New South Wales building before? How nice is sandstone? Sandstone's awesome building material. So many beautiful buildings around Sydney made of sandstone. I waited until I got past the security desk before I whacked the camera on. But this is the ANZ Tower that sits between Castlereagh and Pitt Street. And it still looks like a building site, so I might not be able to get a coffee at one of my favourites. Yeah, it's looking that way. I was going to see if I could get one at Pablo and Rusty's down here on the corner. I can hear noise. It is open, look. We might come back there later, eh? Now that I know that it's open. It's on the corner of Pitt and Park. And there's the old Starbucks there over there on the corner. And I'm shocked to see that just across on the other corner, they put another bloody Starbucks outside the back of Gadigal Station, or one of the entrances to Gadigal Station. Is it really required to have two Starbucks so close together? It's crazy. I could hear someone madly sneezing behind me, so I quickly took a wide berth to keep away from them. We'll go with the flow, get across this intersection. Struggling to get my words out today. Slurring more than more than usual. Getting tongue twisted, almost talking before I've thought about what I'm going to say. I was going to walk up the other part of Pitt Street here. We'll make our way past 570 George Street here, and we'll take a quick squeeze at all of the gathering masses around Town Hall. See what they're up to. It's definitely starting to get warmer, approaching that 27 degrees Celsius, and the humidity's definitely there. Oh, look at that, there's actually some bloody ATMs. I thought all the ATMs had disappeared.
I'll see you if I'm on the camera.
Might sneak through Woolworths if we can. No, the door doesn't open. So still very much a congregation point, the old Town Hall. Excuse me. Exit only, we're not going that way. This is better.
No, stop.
All the tourists stopping in to fill their backpacks and rucksacks with snacks. Fuel up their journey around the city. A little tempted to go down and get my favourite Malacca Thai down there. But I won't. Doing a bit of fasting at the moment. Back out onto Pitt Street. There you go, there's still cycle couriers in the city. We might have a quick skirt down Elizabeth Street and then I'll double back and get that all important coffee nectar in Pablo and Rusty's. Just back there in that part of Park Street, the wind was starting to kick up. I had a look on my phone. It's gone from single digits to double digits now. It's blowing over 20 kilometres an hour now, that easterly wind. And rather being windy when I came out of that Woolworths arcade, it was quite pleasant. And now I can see the obelisk at the top of at the top of Bathurst Street on Hyde Park. And I only found this out recently, but on the top there's a bit of a grate on the diamond of the obelisk there. Turns out it's sewer ventilation, or it was sewer ventilation back in the day anyway. So a real dual purpose monument, that one. A few school kids milling around over there. Probably come for a school excursion to the War Museum over there, the War Memorial. We might keep going down to Bathurst and then we'll swing into Liverpool and then we'll make our way back. You know what? I've changed my mind. I'm not going to have the nectar at Pablo and Rusty's. I'm going to go to a place that's in between Darlinghurst and the city here that I walked past ages ago, and for whatever reason it's just popped into my skull. I'm going to go and try that first. Yeah, when I was talking before about fasting, so I'm doing a bit of fasting at the moment. I'm trying to get my body right again. For whatever reason, I went to get out of bed one day. This was about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. And I had this real creak in my back on the right-hand side. And I then stupidly went out and did some work outside and made it worse. And then I've just been bloody practically bedridden for a while since. And so I thought I'd fast to try to, take some load off it. But I'm not so sure now, because I'm still, I don't know whether it's muscular, I don't know whether it's internal. So I'm going to have to get it looked into, I think. Might be a result of poor posture, because I've been sitting up a lot at the dining room table on uncomfortable chairs, mainly because I'm trying to keep away from the little mutt. He's a pain in the neck. He just wants to play all the time, and he's getting bigger and he's getting rough, and he loves to bite as well. So trying to get him over the puppy phase by teaching him some manners. And so when I want to have a break, I try to sit up at the dining room rather than being on the lounge, because if it's the lounge, he'll just jump on it and jump all over me. Let's use this opportunity to get across Elizabeth Street. Let's get going again on Liverpool Street now, and we're heading up to Commonwealth Street, where I think I spied that Nectar coffee shop on one of my walks way back. Looks like there's a nice pleasant breeze blowing up Commonwealth Street. I need it because the humidity's starting to get to me. I can't see any umbrellas or anything. I hope this joint's still there. I know I've got a little stool starting to come into view. A little white stool. I assume that's the place I spied. Being so close to the cop shop, it's probably a favourite of the various sergeants and constables looking after this part of the city. But we shall see. I might sit under those island-esque umbrellas and have a sit in, maybe. Oh, maybe the seats are wet. We can't. Oh, here I am sitting in Commonwealth Street, waiting for the flat white to arrive. Got a couple of paperbark trees here. But yeah, there's the logo up there. Joe Black Cafe, it's called, in Commonwealth Street. Sitting under these island umbrellas. These graffitied street, what do you call them? Barriers or something. Providing me a little bit of protection from the motor vehicles heading up Commonwealth Street. Funny, we started off the day talking about Superman, and if I look down Commonwealth Street, just across the intersection over there, I see another scene from the Matrix. But I've done that to death. I'm not going to mention that again. Let's wait for the coffee to arrive. The nectar. Oh, it has been delivered to my table. I wonder what this sucker's going to taste like. Yeah, it's nice. It's got a nice taste to it. Still tasting it, I'll let you know. Yeah, it's a pretty decent coffee. I'd definitely come here again if I was walking through. Through that palm there, can you see the tourist bus, the big bus? That's Wentworth Avenue just there. So Commonwealth Street, and I've mentioned this before, dissects Wentworth Avenue. Just slices straight through it. I'll give you a quick squeeze down there after I finish this nectar. Alright, finish that nectar at Joe Black Cafe. It's a good little coffee. Now I'll have a quick squeeze at the corner of Commonwealth Street and Wentworth Avenue, and then we'll start making our way back to the station, back to the Iron Horse, and skedaddle out of the city for today. There it is, the famous corner. I don't know whether you can see that Chin Chin logo on the window there. The old Griffiths Tea building. That's the scene from the Matrix where Neo's being chased by the agents out of the subway station and up Commonwealth Street there. I've done that before, many a time. The walk up there and spoken about that scene. So we won't sit on it for too long. Let's get down Commonwealth Street. We'll skirt past the cop shop here on the right. The feds are in there. That's the Federal Police building. There's the Wyndham Hotel there, right next to the Vibe Hotel. I've been in both of them before. I've had breakfast a few times in the Vibe, like a buffet breakfast, and I've used a meeting room in this hotel here. Back in the day, geez, that was a long time ago. So I think I might make my exit through Gadigal Station in the Bathurst Street entrance as we stand down Bathurst Street. Thank you for coming on the walk around the Big Smoke today, the old Sydney town, and I'll see you in the next vid. The video is over.